So today I'm gonna answer a lot of questions, a lot of common questions coming from you, asking me to render a night scene and a lumen scene, only because I'm rendering all my images with the path tracer. So today is the day of the render of the Lumen engine. So this is the scene I downloaded from the web. In the video description, you have, of course, the link to download it for free. And this scene has been already imported into Twinmotion, where I have already done some changes, in particular with some 3D models, some plants, the lamps, the chairs, and so on. And in particular, this is the way I'm working with Twinmotion. There are three main things with Twinmotion or with the rendering in general, and the main things are materials, 3D models, and lights. And here, for the materials and for the 3D modeling parts, as you can see, I have already done pretty everything. I just left something to do here with you. And this in particular is about the 3D models, because this wall TV comes from the 3D model I imported with SketchUp in this style. But as you can see, in the Twinmotion library, we already have a TV wall, 1 and 2 TV wall. But as you can see, this TV wall is really more accurate, more beautiful, more detailed from these two from the Twinmotion library. So my first suggestion for today is to save all the 3D models that you are importing into your Twinmotion scene in your user library anytime, because every time you're creating a new project or using Twinmotion and you will need a new TV, a new wall TV, you don't have to, of course, use the TV I just shown you that are not very good, but you can use in this case the TV that you have saved in your user library. So of course, characterize your TV in this case with materials. For instance, for these materials, I use the materials coming from the wall TV from the Twinmotion library. I'm not creating nothing new. So I'm just picking this material and assign it to this surface. I'm picking this material, assign it to this surface, and so on. After that, of course, select the mesh, right click, add to user library for any 3D models that you are using from your of course models. This is the first advice. The second one is about the outside in this example, because there are a lot of renderings with skies, with of course a lot of trees that are let's say creating a mask for the landscape. But here I'm using, maybe you already seen it within my socials, but I use this model that is a block that I bought from I don't know what kind of website, but this is an entire city, of course, modeled with low poly meshes, so it is not very heavy. And anytime, because I'm a bit lazy, I have to utilize these glass materials for the walls and maybe use some grunge for the surfaces. But this 3D model, this block, is perfect for all the interior scene, of course, not for the scene you are creating in a real place or I don't know where, but this is really perfect to set your landscape without using anytime trees that it seems like that in every rendering, in every image rendered outside our windows, there are trees, plants, beautiful skies, and beautiful everything. But in the majority of the case, outside the window, you will see buildings. So you can use, I think, Sketchfab to download some buildings for your scenes. But if I remember well, these blocks costed me 10 euros, something like that. Or you can find it for free if you want, but 10 euros for me, for everyone, should not be something unaffordable. So this is the second advice. Don't use anytime trees, please, because you can always see trees in any project. So again, in my Twinmotion library, saved the city block. Of course, you can see I have all the 3D models, but in this particular example, these buildings are perfect and fantastic, and it suits perfectly this scene. Third advice, not about the models, but for the materials. Here, I already characterized the entire scene with the materials. Twinmotion materials are great. Megascans materials are fantastic. But for instance, here I want my marble material, and here in Twinmotion you can find, of course, the marble, the white marble here, for instance. But this marble is not exactly what I want, or the exact material I want. So in this particular case, I'm just creating a new material. And for the new materials, there are a lot of websites. And in particular, this one, 3D Textures, is really amazing. There are hundreds of materials. And in particular, here we have the marble section. And here you can see there are a lot of advertising, but here there are the Carrara Marble 2 and 1, the same at the moment, that are really fantastic. I already, of course, have saved them to my Twinmotion material library, but I don't know what I clicked. And here you can, I advise you to use an add-in block, so you don't have all these add-ins, but I'm downloading all the maps, so the color, let me just change the view. So the colors, this time the normal texture is not so necessary, but you can download, of course, anything you want. In this case, the color surface, the color texture is enough, but of course I can download them. So download. Okay, here is the download. The file zipped as completed. So here it is. Let me just pick my folder from the other screen here, and just taking all the textures here. And as you can see, I have the color, the displacement, ambient occlusion, roughness, and normal. But for this example, I think no, the color is enough. I'm picking the color, texture, opening, and as you can see, the result is completely different from the one that I used with the Twinmotion material. So here there is a two-sided problem, so I'm just picking two-sided, and then of course the color is completed. I'm just picking the roughness, and at the moment I don't need any other normal or roughness textures. It's okay this way. So for the models and 3D models and for the materials, it's enough. Of course, this material in particular should be saved, of course, in your Twinmotion library, so you don't have to download again all the textures and create again the material. And this is the advice I'm giving you. All the 3D models you can see, you see here that are not coming through from the 3D that I downloaded has been, of course, imported in Twinmotion. I don't know when, but characterized and then saved in my Twinmotion library. And today, for this scene, I just drag them all into this scene with just one click. So this is a really time saving for all your future projects. Anyway, let's create the media, the images. So I'm here with the media and I'm create the media. So from here, the first thing you want to do is to set the format. At the moment, I think that 2K is enough for me, but I always create my render with 4K resolution. But for the moment, it's okay. After that, you want to, of course, set the lens. So from here, I don't know, for the interior, I like the 25 millimeters, but of course you can use the lens you prefer. It is not so important, but let's say for this, I can set 25 millimeters, maybe, okay, let's do something like that. And after the lens, you need to set, of course, the parallelism as well. The sharpness for me is something really important because I'm just at the moment 100 is too much, but this parameter is really important to let you see more clear all the rough, all the normals, and a minimum value of 25 for me is really important to be set. So vignetting is okay, and of course Lumen. So at the moment I'm just setting the Lumen engine, and in the Lumen engine, scene detail should be maxed, quality should be maxed, bounce count should be maxed, okay, for a better result. So from here we have nothing to do, but from here the environment, let me just check something else. For the environment I'm using an HDRI, and from here I can pick, I'm always picking skies, morning and afternoon, maybe some cloudy. Here you can see a lot of skies, but the first one is okay for me. And in this example, I don't need the lights coming from the bathroom, but from this side, maybe 7. Yeah, something like that I can see the sun coming into the scene. And intensity for me, at the moment, is not a good value. Let's say something like 1, because I want that the sky is visible from here and the buildings are not burning. So 1 as a value is okay for me. In the weather, at the moment, I'm just putting height fog to 0. And natural lighting, from here, sun intensity is this bright value. So if you're increasing it, your scene will burn, and the opposite, if you are putting 0, no sun is coming inside. Of course, you can see the lights coming through the windows, but if you want to have lights and shadows be visible, of course, at least the value of 1 is needed. From here, I don't know, I can change it while creating this, but let's say 2 for the moment, it's okay. And from here, maybe the ambient should be maxed for a better illumination. After that, the grunge is really too much. So okay, don't panic if the scene is dark, because we haven't set the camera. And from here, of course I can set a better exposure, but local exposure is something that you must, and trust me, you must consider anytime. So shadow boost, you increase this value, as you can see, your scene is brighter. Highlight reduction, in this case, your sky will be not darker, but less brighter. And this is perfect for my intent. So to let the sky be visible from here. So here I just set the scene with the natural lighting, but maybe for the exposure I can set 1.50, 1.75. And as you can see, the scene is not burning. The lights coming from the outside, from the sun, is not burning. The sky is not burning. Let's see if I change the sky with full as a default. Yeah, the scene is brighter, but I can see the clouds, so it's completely useless. Sorry. And here the scene works perfectly. Maybe 1.5. Yeah. Well, it depends on you, this particular value. And last but not least, FX. This is really important. So in my renderings, I always decrease a little bit the contrast. As you can see, decreasing the contrast, of course you will lose contrast, but you will get a brighter scene. And for the saturation, I'm just increasing how the colors, how the materials will look. So this is perfectly set. So the most important thing you have to understand with the Lumen engine is that the preview here you are seeing is not the render you will have once exported. So I'm just at the moment exporting this render just as an example here. Okay, the rendering has finished. I just cut the video, but it took 19 seconds, so it's perfect for us. So here is the image rendered, and the result is perfect. And I just set the materials, set the natural lights. Maybe I can, because I missed, I can of course increase a little bit the white balance to have let's say more colder scene, but this of course is up to you. And for the lighting, the secret about lighting is that your scene need to be perfect without lighting. So this is the render I just created, and if you're rendering, of course, if you have Windows, if your render works perfectly without lighting, then you can add lighting, like artificial lightings. Of course, if you don't have Windows, you only have to work with artificial lighting. But for the moment, I'm just creating, I've just created this scene without lighting. And now I can start settings all the lamps, all the not all the lamps, but the artificial lighting. So let me just create a folder, lights. I'm creating again, Windows, another layer, and the set active layers, and yeah, and I'm just putting all the lights in all around the scene, in particular in the where the real lamps are. So here I'm just putting it in a really simple way, and then creating some instances. So this one here, I don't remember the effective number, but let's say 4. Yeah, perfect. And then another one from here. Yeah. And this is not something difficult to do, of course. It is needed if you want some lights, artificial lights you'll see. So here, these are all instances. So if I'm changing one of them, I will change them all. So the most important thing, of course, shadows, always shadows. And here, you can, of course, set different cone angles, so your lights will affect not only a little area, but the entire scene. Here, for the attenuation, I think 10 meters are enough. Cone angle, yeah, let's say something like that. Intensity, of course, is not correct, but we will set it with the median. Color temperature, let's say something that is near to our scene. And just back to this. And of course, these lights are really wrong with these values. So I'm just pick it with a value of 2, maybe. We can see the difference between the lighting scene without the scene. So you can see lights here, lights here, lights here, lights everywhere, but without, it's of course the same, not the same, but the render still lives without all the lighting. These artificial lightings are perfect to create a more volumetric, for this example, scene. Of course, let's say 2, 3, 4, I don't care at the moment about the value, but something that is not, of course, burning our scene. So maybe 2 as a value, with the shadows, of course, enabled. For this lamp, for the dining, I can use a different light. Let me take, I don't know, maybe this one, and just putting it here, maybe here, and creating an instance here, and maybe another one here. Okay, all instances. So okay, shadows. Again, temperature, the same values as before. Cone angle, yeah, this is correct. 300, of course, is not correct. So let me just maybe pick 5 back here. Well, as you can see, oh no, this one is not correct. So I'm creating 9 angle. And these lamps. And here, if I turn them off, the result is really different. So here I just don't want to burn my scene. So this value could be maybe 0.5. It's a bit too much. So maybe 0.1. Yeah. It should be okay. So perfect. all the lamps or the lighting for the TV. Of course, for the TV, but from the lamps here to the TV. And here, I can use maybe a lights a little bit larger. Yeah, like this one. And I'm not using for this particular lamp, I'm not using an omnidirectional light because, of course, I can show you right now, because these particular lamps, maybe not now in the preview mode, but this part, okay, of course, with the shadows, will create this effect. And with the Lumen engine, you are not able to modify the radius for the moment. So at the moment, what I'm doing with these situations is, let me just take, yeah, maybe this lamp. Using this lamp here, putting it here, yeah, maybe in the center. Let me just change the parallelism. Because I'm inside the media, so I'm just moving out. Then put it here and create. This time, not an instance, but a copy. I will explain it in a moment. I'm of course rotating 180, and here I'm just increasing to its maximum the cone angle. The difference between these two lights is the shadow, because for the lamps, for the lighting that is lights, let's say the bottle, I will check the enable shadow box. For the one that is lights the ceiling, I will not use the shadow here. So I won't have the shadows from the lamps projected to the walls and to the ceiling. So this is the main difference between these two lamps. I'm just, of course, modifying the temperature. Yeah, maybe the attenuation is a bit higher, because I want it to be bigger, maybe 5. Yeah. And then back here again, out of course with an intensity of 300. This is, let me just modify them so bottom. So this one for the bottle is going to be maybe, I don't know, 3. Let me just change them just one click. Okay. So the one through the bottle is 3. Let's say 1.5. As you can see, I'm just turning it on and off only to see perfectly how it is working and what are the differences between on and off. Yeah, maybe 0.5 is okay. And for the top, his attenuation is 5. And for the top, I don't this kind of light here, of course, maybe 5 again. Maybe 0.25. Yeah, something like that. This is the difference. So all the lights have been set. Maybe I can also create lamps for the kitchen, for the bathroom, and from the entrance. Let me just create a sub-container and set it active. So from here, I'm just using odd light. Not here, let me here. Then, of course, it's something here. I'm creating all the instances for them because I'm not seeing them. But of course, I can break instances whenever I. So this one here, and again, creating instances for. And all these instances with shadows with 665. Oh, attenuation 10, and this one is okay, and this is 2, 3, I don't know. Pick this. Oh, as you can see, the lights are affecting my world. Here, bit match, so 1. Okay, so I have also the shadows here, and this is the final render. Again, planning. Okay, and I finished. Let me just export this render and then cut the video. Okay, this render took me 21 seconds, and here is the result. This is the last one, and this is the new one. So, as you can see, the first one is working perfectly. The second one, of course, is working, I think, better, but artificial lighting is not completely necessary to create the most beautiful render. And at the moment, I'm just rendering only with the Lumen engine with the 2K resolution. At the end of the video, of course, I will create the perfect render, the final render with the 4K resolution, and the result will be, of course, better. And what about the night? Night scene are pretty simple from my point of view. So I'm just duplicate this render. So I'm just renaming it image 3. And in this level, I'm just moving here, enable the HDRI, moving to the natural lighting, and the time of the day, let's set it to maybe 1 a.m. Of course, here, sun intensity, it is not necessary. Sun size is not necessary. Stars intensity is, for me, is really important, so I maximum it. I don't know if I change it manually. No, moon intensity, it is not this value because I need a dark scene, so I'm just decreasing it. Maybe 0.01. Let me just check here. 0.01. That is a little bit. There's a little. Right. 0.05. Oh. Okay. A perfect night scene. So, in this render, what should I change? Nothing. I already set all the lights. Maybe I can change here the exposure, because all these values are at the moment perfect. So I can maybe increase the exposure value, and that's it. I think it's okay at the moment. Let me just check the ambient is okay. The camera here 1.75, maybe let's just put 2, and it's okay. Finished. Night render has finally come to an end. So I'm rendering it and cut the video. So let's check the final result. of course, screen. And this is the night scene. And this is equal to this one, but of course with light, the natural light turned off. So night scene or night render are not really difficult to be created. Of course, you need to set all the artificial lights, and if you have lamps, it's far better than put lights all around the scene without a real reason to exist. And I think this is okay for now. And the last one thing I want to suggest you, not of course for the night scene, but for the day scene, let me just create a view set for rename the day and one for the night. This is for the night, so I'm just uncheck this box. So all the modifiers all the changes I will do will not affect this set. I was talking about another kind of light that are the area lights coming from here, so outside the window. For any scene, you should use or you should put an area light outside your window. This is not something I'm suggesting you to use when, I don't know how to say, but when you have time or if you're pleased, but anytime, because area lights are fundamental to increase lighting in your scene without affecting all the environments, all the natural lights, and at least if they are not necessary, just turn them off. So again, this value, shadow, maybe attenuation a little bit more, 7, 6, no, let's just pick 7. 2 meters. We don't need them to be perfectly the size of the window, but just they just need to be inside the window. I'm just creating a copy, not an instance. Maybe at the end they will be exactly the same, but I need them to be perfectly be changed separately. So a copy here, and of course another copy here. And for this one is a bit different because I don't need 2 meters long. Maybe 0.8, 5, 0.5. Because if I'm creating a larger area lights, I will have this is not, I think, necessary, but I will have all the shadow projection in particular here in the ceiling. So I'm not creating an entire area light for this window, but maybe 4 different lights. Okay, so value was 0.5 maybe. 0.4 here and here 9. I'm creating for this an instance because what is this? Oh my, create the instance here because I just set the instance, so I don't remember 2 and 0.5. So 2 and 1.5. Okay, and this because they are part of the same. Oh no, they are different. So copy. But these two will be exactly the same. So here 7. Yeah. Then other pixels here. Okay. So these are my lights. Area lights here. Just create a container for them. Of course. Media image. Okay. Of course, now the lights are with wrong values. So here I'm putting 1 for this, 1 for this, and then of course I can change these values. 1, of course, 1. Okay, so let me just, okay, as you can see, the scene now is brighter than before. And it's okay for me. Maybe you don't want to see this light here. Sorry. This light, of course, turn these lights off if you want, but for me are okay. So 1, is 1 okay? Let me just try 1.5. Yeah. So this is okay. Of course, the night render should be without this. So this is perfect. And then, of course, I'm put here 4K resolution, and here, no, maybe here I just want to export it as test. Again here, and again a cut. Here I am again, and here, let me just see, 80 seconds for this render to be done, and here, of course, the other screen, and here, the new render. So this is without the area light, and this is with the area light. And for me, it's kind of great. Yeah, the only disturbing thing is this shadow here. Maybe I can turn off the shadows for this one, but without the shadows, I won't have this ambient occlusion, this shadows, and a lot of shadows that are creating here. So this, for this example, this shadow is okay for me. And that's it for this video. And of course, exporting also this image with the 4K resolution, and the final render will be, of course, displayed once I just turned my camera and my video off. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you need to see other tutorials, or you are requesting other tutorials, please comment in the comment section with the topics you would like me to explore in the next video. Again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and see you in the next video. Ciao!